DaVinci Resolve, Magic Mask, how to remove the background and, for instance, replace it with a PowerPoint presentation like I'm doing here. So there are two options, and the wife told me, Palle, you can't make a video with one option and a video with the other option. You should actually make a video with both options. So I have both options in this video using DaVinci Resolve, the slow option, which is using Fusion, and a fast option using the color tab. So magic mask means that we cut a subject out of the frame. So in this case, I'm taking myself and I'm cutting myself out of the frame, removing the background, and then I can replace it with a PowerPoint. The Fusion version uses something called VRAM on our graphic card. That version is significantly slower than the color option, but in my experience, I usually get better results with using the slow option than the fast option. So I'll go through those two options in this video. So in both options, we need to select the file where we want to remove the background in the timeline. Then we have the Fusion option down at the bottom to the left. That's the slow one. And then we have the color tab. That's the fast one. So slow one uses VRAM. The fast one, color tab, usually uses more of the processing power of our graphic card. With the slow option, we go into the Fusion tab. Then up at the top, there's an option called Effects. We pick Effects. Then we find the magnifying glass a little bit down to the right. We click that one, we go to the left, and then we type in Magic Mask. When we have that, then an option comes that's called Magic Mask. We click that one, and then we drag it slowly down to our timeline, like down here, and then it will say Magic Mask. When we have that, then we can go in and we can click our subject, and then we can go and set some options. So here we have the options for faster or better. So in this case, it takes very, very long. I'll get back to how long it takes. So usually I would pick the faster option and not the better option. And then we have like some things we can play with below besides this. We have the pipette where we can go in and click like, do we want this or that? And then when we are finished with this thing, then we can click on the two arrows pointing right or left. So we simply just click our subject. So in this case, I have 4 dots on me, and that was enough to remove the background. It's a good idea to click a little bit around in the timeline to make sure that we are satisfied with the result everywhere. So in this case, it took 11 minutes using a 5090 graphic card, a 9950X3D CPU, 96 gigabyte of RAM to make a 30-second clip. So that means if I want to do this on a 9-minute clip like this video, then it would take me 3 hours using the fast version. When we're happy with the results and we've been waiting for the time it takes to go through this, then we go down, click on the Edit tab, and it brings us back. Now we can see ourselves where the background is removed, and I can drag in something like a PowerPoint like I have here, and then I can replace the background with that, and then I can make myself small or bigger or do whatever I want with the edit. So that's the slow version. Then we have the fast version, which has a little bit more steps. So in this case, we need to go down and find the little guy where the background is removed. We click that one, and then we have the AI Magic Mask comes out below. We still have an option to pick the places where we want to add the Magic Mask, and we have an option here for faster, better. So usually here I would pick the better option because it goes much, much faster. As I mentioned before, we'll go to the timeline. We'll pick different places in the timeline where to make sure that it looks good. So like we're not missing a head or something like that. So here we see me. So I'll click like on my head, on my hands, and other places. It's a good idea if you have like something in your hands you want to showcase, or if I wanted to keep the microphone I have in the picture, then I would need to click that separately. The difference here between the color tab and the Fusion tab is that when I click the object, then the background doesn't automatically disappear. So I need to click on Shift H in Windows or the Apple button H in Mac. So then now I can see that the background is gone, and I can click around and see, like, do I like what I see? If I don't like what I see, then I can go down to the settings and I can change it a little bit. So I can change the radius, like how close this mask is to the object. I can go in and clean the blacks. I can do some blurry lines. I can do different things. When I'm happy with the result here, then I click on the arrows pointing both ways, like I did in the Fusion tab, and then it starts processing this thing. So compared to before, we will see that this is a 3-minute clip, so it takes me 3 minutes to track it. So it's like a 1-to-1 ratio, so that's pretty fast. Where I mentioned before that it took like significantly longer to do it in the Fusion tab. When this is done, then we need to, on the color tab, go and find this right place where I have a green dot, a blue dot, and some green and blue triangles. Then I need to right click and I need to put something called add alpha output. That adds a green circle, blue circle. Then I take the blue circle and drag it up to the blue square. That connects those two, and I will have a dotted line between the blue square and the green blue circle. And that means now I've added this mask to my image. I can now go to the editing page like before, but compared to the Fusion one, I do not want to edit before I've rendered this file. So rendering is a thing where we take the video. So we have the original video where there's a background. So what we're going to do now is we're going to save the new video without the background. So where the background is transparent, we're going to save that as a second clip, and then we're going to use that moving forward. Else, when I start to edit, then often it will lose the color things we do. It's the same thing if we do color grading. It's a good idea to render it before we continue and process more with the editing. So I'll take the clip, I'll right click it, and then I'll pick the option that's called render in place. So depending on if you're using a Mac or you're using Windows, you might want to use different codecs, which is like the language for the file. We just need to make sure that we pick a codec where we can actually remove the background. If you pick the wrong codec, then where it's not transparent, then it becomes like solid in the background. So in Apple, we can pick QuickTime, Apple ProRes, Apple ProRes 422, and in Windows, we can pick QuickTime, Avid DNX 10-bit, and then those are transparent. So there are other options if you want to use that. Instead, we'll just leave the stuff below as standard. And then we click render, and then it takes the time it takes. So for this clip, it took me like 10 seconds to run this through. Just need to be aware that, especially with some of the ProRes images, that they are huge. They take up significant space on our hard drives. And now we have two different ones. So we have the original one, plus we have a transparent one. So if you keep doing this, then over time, your hard drive might fill up, and then you need to be aware where these files are, maybe put them in the trash can. Anyways, after we've rendered it, then we can go and edit it. I can take myself and make myself small. So that was the second option. The third option is to subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you liked the video, if you have any comments, what you think, which one is your favorite, write it in the comments below. If you like the video, give it a like. If you don't like it, give it a dislike. Else, that was all for me. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye.